Welcome to the Dam Plan. We've logged in about 2,000 hours of our 10,000 hour goal so far, and the first about 5 months of those hours were purely on the putting green. Currently, I am actually playing from white tees and starting to establish a handicap, but I still have a lot of questions with my putting. So here we're talking with my coach Christopher Smith about fixing some kinks in my putting stroke. I've been kind of struggling with putting a lot lately. For the last couple of weeks, every round I play, I end up with 36 putts, which is probably about at least 6 more than where I really want to be. So one thing that Christopher and I looked at was how my putting setup and mechanics and swing, how my pendulum is working.
Let me show you something that looks a little different since I last saw you. Your ratio back and forth,
yeah,
it's pretty unbalanced right now. It looks something like this. It's a lot faster and farther going through than it is going back. It should always be a little bit that way.
Yeah.
But you've gone more than last time I saw you.
Because I was having a huge backswing, so I've shortened the backswing and then accelerated too much.
So you need to get back a little bit to, feeling like, although it doesn't happen in reality, like it's a pendulum, like it's back and forth the same amount and the same speed.
Yeah.
Like the clock pendulum, like this.
Yeah.
Yours looks like this right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So hit a couple putts just to the edge of the green. Okay, that looks like it's really going kind of up and down too. So when you do those practice throughs, don't hit the green.
Yeah.
So if it goes up in the backswing, it's probably going to hit the grass on the downswing, right?
Yeah.
And in a putting stroke, you don't want the putter head to hit the grass. So pay attention to those two things and just hit these putts kind of anywhere.
I had been working on shortening my backswing and then with a bigger follow through, but I've actually, because I worked so much, when I work on something, I have a tendency to overdo it. So now I had a really truncated backswing and a huge follow through. So he kind of related it to how you would kick a ball.
Going left foot or right foot?
I can do either. Doesn't matter.
Okay, did you feel that?
Yeah.
So your foot, you didn't like make a giant foot follow through, right? You just see that? That's a good roll. Kind of went back and popped it, and it's not like it stopped at the ball. You didn't go like this. Watch.
Okay. You wouldn't kick a ball with a tiny little backswing and then a huge follow through. It's almost the exact opposite.
That's better. Still a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit of this.
Yeah. It feels better.
And I think that when that ratio gets off, Dan, I think it affects people's long putting more than short putting.
Yeah.
This doesn't have anything to do with you, but I have a tendency too where I'll get too short and too much through. It's actually a pretty good way to short putt.
Yeah.
But when I get too much that way with long putts, my distance gets bad. And more often than not, I leave it short.
Because it's more muscling it than actually just getting a nice.
You're thinking of your gut knows that it needs to go back farther, and then for some reason you've limited that.
Yeah.
And then your gut also knows that if it's too short but going back, then you better do something on the way through, and then it just throws the whole balance off.
What we looked at is having more of a natural pendulum with a shorter follow through. So that's something that I will be working on this week, and that was really helpful for him to point out because there's only so much that proprioception will allow, and that's something I just did not realize over my last few weeks of practicing putts.